Everybody, just wanted to get on here and communicate for the upcoming Zoom this coming up Thursday. Questions are rolling in and they are fascinating, so I urge you to, when you register, get them in. And one thing I'm noticing is people have been applying the principles from the book, particularly since this Zoom is part covering the training and the recovery sections. They've been applying the programs, and they've got tons of concerns and tons of inquiries, and all based on their experimentation. And that's a fantastic topic. I've been doing this for XYZ years or months, and I'm just kind of uncertain on this, or I was curious about this, and I know what this feels. You see that dog? It's like this tiny little, the dog is fucking wheezing. It is struggling to breathe. Poor little dude. His legs were like 2 inches long. Torso's like a foot and a half. He's trying to propel himself. He's tired. Anyway, sorry. But no, so that's another aspect of this part of this Zoom, which is why I'm excited about them all, but this one in particular, because to clear it up, people think I'm changing my entire makeup and everything else. Like, no, the principles and concepts I've been saying. I mean, I even saw some posts and notes and things that I either posted or made or wrote to myself, and it's been the same stuff. It's cyclical. I mean, poets and authors were writing in like the 1800s the same concerns that we see now that humans are struggling with. So it is not like anybody's going to invent anything new. It's just within the principles and concepts and laws of what we have to access within our bodies and within this place called Earth, is the infinite of our experience with it and the infinite of our expression with it, because no two expressions are the same, no two responses are the same. No way. You could take listening to someone speak at a public event, and you're gonna have thousands of different responses, and if we measure the vitals of each one of those people, they're gonna all be expressing differently but perfectly. Now what if we supplement herb or label those people's physiology in perfect response to listening to the speaker and the caliber of speakers that are out there and the topics that they're covering? We just did a really huge disservice to humanity and healing. So, but yeah, the book's principles and concepts have been here long before I was ever a thought or a seed or a spark. But it's my experiences with it. My experiences with it in 2018 that were really 16 years prior to that built that, are now 5 years later. Should be sharper, should be more evolved, should be wiser. How many experiences and tests and experiments and things I've seen, people I've met, things I've thrown out, things I've added on to, on top of principles and concepts. Again, as long as humans are developed and made the way we are, these are all going to apply. So that's the biggest thing with these Zooms is, again, instead of going through the trouble of publishing and doing all these things, well, now I get to control it. Now I get to control the interview time. Now I get to control the topics. Now I get to control who attends and who doesn't, who's going to have access, who's not. So clear it up in case you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about. This Thursday is a Zoom webinar. It's on updates, changes, and edits to a book I published in 2018. A book that was under the marketing scheme of a youth sports injury solution, but was not that at all. Much bigger than that, but we had to market it as that. So the first half has already been done. Intro, reasons to writing, some of the truths and darker secrets behind what medical and health books, what they're actually out for when you're on the inside and you see these things. So that covered that. That's up for a rental. This is part 2. Part 2 is going to cover the training and recovery portion of that book. I am going to touch upon and review and highlight some of the things we covered in part 1, but the depths of it are 2.5 hours. We'll leave it over there. You got 7-day rentals over there on my U screen under my link tree, but this is probably going to be a good 2 hours at least. I was going through some of the training and some of the recovery elements, and there's just a lot. And as I said in part 1, we're going to go page by page. So if you've got your book, if you've been working through it, show up with it. You don't have to. You're going to be able to pull out a lot from this. But I will be going page by page to show what I've added on to enhance, sharpen, polished. Some experiments, some things, clear up a ton of stuff. And again, address everybody's questions. So get those into me when you register. Some other concerns are, they're in Australia or New Zealand. Will there be a recording? Of course, I've been doing these. And I offer 7-day replays to those that register for the initial live. I'd like to have you there live, present, accounted for, ready to rock, ready to change. But you will have room and time to view it. But the body does really well with a little sense of urgency, especially when it's trying to change. So understand that and note that and respect that. Email me if you have any concerns. Email me for details. God, guys, email me to register. info@TommyJohnIII.com, and then get your questions in. Any questions at all. Again, if they don't apply, I'm not going to address it. That's fine, but I'll get back to you in the email. But for the most part, they're going to be covered. Thank you. Things are going to be covered. Again, I got to say it because people might be wondering, and they always might be new to the page. Will specific injuries be addressed? Just like with the foot zoom, just like with hanging, just like with spinal hygiene and calf jumps, there's no way to address specific injuries per the person, because every injury is a particular expression of that individual. That's why protocols and algorithms, we can't do that. And if that was the case, I would put up knee protocols, spine protocols, herniated disc protocols, aging protocols, detox you name it. It's just like everybody else putting out there. There's no way to do that. And if we do that, and people try to fit themselves into that, you'll get a short-term change that seems like freedom, and seems like light, and seems like ascension, and seems like healing, but it comes crashing down on you in the end. And you're gonna have to find your flow. So, truth, nobody heals you for sure. Some people can guide you, but it's gotta be back on you. And that's what this whole thing's part of. I wanted to get an updated version of the things, because if you believed in the book in the first place, shit, let's keep going. Because that's the whole point of human, is to keep changing. Never the same. You are always changing, whether you feel it or see it or not. It's always different. Now, to what level you use that power, completely up to you, but mark the fact of the matter and truth is you are absolutely a different person second by second, day to day, especially from 2018 to now. All right, see you guys there. Have a good night.